Good morning, children. Sairam. So, today we are going to continue with our lesson number 19, our rights and duties. So, in the last session, we have seen what is right and what are our duties. Yes or no? Yes. So, let's have a small recap of what is right and what is duty. Okay. So, our rights at home, so we are expecting our parents to look after us and provide us with good home, food, clothes, and all necessities, right? So, these are your rights that you are getting from your parents. But when you have some rights, you have your duties too, isn't it? So, what are your duties towards your parents? Your duty is to respect and help your parents, and your second duty is to pay attention to your studies, right? So, this is the difference between a right and a duty. So, right happens to be when you are having some ownership towards some particular thing. So you are an Indian, right? So you expect some rights to be an Indian. Yes. So these are the rights, and when you are having rights as an Indian, you also have some duties to perform as an Indian, right? So these are rights and duties. Okay. Now, in the last session, I gave you some homework, right? You fill in the blanks, and I told you that I will discuss the answers in this session. So, let us see what is the answers for the queries that have given in the previous session. Okay. So, this was the fill in the blanks that I gave you in the previous session, and I'm going to discuss the answers with you now. Okay. So first one, our country was ruled by the British for almost dash years. Our country was ruled by the British for almost dash years. So how many years? It is 200 years. Okay. So how many years, children? It is 200 years. Okay. Next one. India got its independence from the British on 15th August 1947. So what is the answer? 15th August 1947. India got its independence from the British on 15th August 1947. The set of rules framed to rule our country were known as the dash. The set of rules to rule our country were known as the dash. So what are the set of rules? Set of rules always refers to the constitution. So what is the spelling of constitution? CONSTITUTION. Constitution. The set of rules framed to rule our country were known as constitution. Okay. So let's see the fourth question. Dash is the father of our Indian Constitution. Dash is the father of our Indian Constitution. So who is the father of our Indian Constitution? It is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. 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 Okay. So Dash is the father of our Indian Constitution and the answer is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Okay. Next one. The Dash was written by Jawaharlal Nehru. The Dash was written by Jawaharlal Nehru. So what was written by Jawaharlal Nehru? Preamble. 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 So the preamble was written by Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, children. So I hope all of you have written the correct answers. If not, erase whatever you have written wrong and just write the answers which I have told you. Okay. So these are the answers for your fill in the blanks activity. Okay. Now let's move on to today's session. So let us learn the words to remember, that is the difficult words along with their meanings. Okay. So the first one is government. A body of people that governs or rules a country. So what is a government? A body of people that governs or rules a country. A body of people that governs or rules a country. Constitution. Written rules according to which a country is run by the government. Constitution. Written rules according to which a country is run by the government. So, next we move on to republic. A country ruled by elected leaders rather than by a king or a queen is called a republic. Okay. So our country is a republic country where we elect leaders by voting. So this process of electing leaders by voting is called republic. Okay. A country ruled by elected leaders rather than by a king or a queen is a republic. So fourth one we have democracy. Kind of government where people vote to elect leaders who run the country is called democracy. So democracy is a kind of government where people vote to elect leaders who run the country. Okay. So fifth one is hereditary. Hereditary is nothing but it's a hierarchy of parents to child. Okay. Something that is passed on from parent to child. Hereditary is nothing but something that is passed on from the parent to child. Socialism. Principle of treating all people in a country as equals. Socialism is the principle of treating all the people in country as equals. Okay. So these are the words to remember and I want you to write it in your social notebook so that you will have time to learn all these words. Okay. Just put the heading as our rights and duties. Leave a line followed by words to remember and write it equally spaced. You know how to write, right? So first write the first one, just leave a line after that and continue with the second one. Okay. So next, secular. Secular is where all religions are treated equal. Secular is nothing but where all religions are treated equal. Now let us continue with the preamble and see what are the different sectors of the preamble. The preamble or introduction to our constitution describes India as a democratic, socialist, secular republic. So the preamble or introduction to our constitution describes India as a democratic, socialist, secular, republic. Okay. So here are the four sectors of the preamble. The first one is democratic, socialist, secular and republic. So let's see what is democratic, socialist, secular and republic in detail. So first one is democratic. Democratic means that all the people of the country will choose or elect leaders who would form the government. So there are two types of government. So in that we have democratic, where people of the country will choose the elected leaders, and the first one is by hereditary, that is the king will rule the country, and after the king the prince will become the king and he will rule the country, and later his son, and then followed by his son, and later by the grandson. Okay, that is the monarchy form of government. And here in India we have a democratic form of government, that is people ourselves, we will choose the leader. Okay, and by the process of voting, and we elect them as leaders. So this kind of government is called democracy. So this kind of government is called democracy. In a democratic country, the king are no longer the rulers and any common man can become a ruler. So in a democratic country, the king is no longer the ruler and any common man can become a ruler. Okay. So did you understand what is democratic? Yes. So let's move on to what is socialist. Socialism means that all people in the country will be treated as equals. Socialism means that all people in the country will be treated as equals. The government will not differentiate between people on the basis of their caste, religion or in any other way. So what is socialism, children? Socialism is that all people are treated equals in the country. So socialism is all people in the country will be treated as equals. The government will not differentiate between people on the basis of their caste, religion or in another way. Okay. So this is secular. Secular is nothing but you are free to follow whatever religion you want. So in India, you can adopt any religion that is convenient and you are free to choose any religion you want to practice. So first, if you are a Christian by birth, you can later convert into Islam or Christianity. You have all rights to choose your religion. So that is called as secular. So what is democratic? Democratic is we are going to elect our own leaders by the process of voting. Okay, there are no more kings and no more monarchy form of government. So that is democratic. Second one is socialism. Socialism is nothing but you are equal in the eyes of law. So there is no differentiation based on your caste, your community or your religion. So all are equal in India. Okay. So secular is the third one, and that means you are free to choose whatever religion you want and you can follow your own religion as well. Okay. So next one is republic. So this means that our head of the state is elected by the people. So this means that our head of the state is elected by the people. India is headed by an elected president, unlike the British government, whose head of state is a hereditary monarch. As I told you, like democratic, republic is we are going to choose the head of our state and we elect them as leaders. Okay, it is not like the British government that the head of the state is a hereditary monarch. What is a hereditary monarch? I told you, right? A king will become the king of a state, a king of a country, and later his son, followed by his grandson. So this is the hereditary monarch. But in India, the president's son or a daughter cannot become a president again without electing. Okay? So India is a republic country and we people are electing the leaders of our country. Okay, children. So next, let us move on to the. So next we are going to see what is our fundamental rights. Okay, I told you, right, as a citizen of India, we are having certain fundamental rights that we possess. So it is mentioned in the constitution that all Indians are having fundamental rights, and if anyone feels that his or her fundamental rights have been denied, he or she can approach to the court of law. So the fundamental rights are nothing but the basic rights as an Indian. So if you don't have that rights or you feel those rights are being denied, okay, you can approach the court of law and say that my fundamental rights are being denied. Okay, so let us see what are the set of fundamental rights that we possess. So the first one is right to equality. Second one is right to the freedom of speech. So as I told you, what is right to equality? The right to equality is nothing but all the people of India are treated equal and there is no discrimination, that is, there is no differentiation between the people, whether they are Hindus or they are Christians, or maybe they are of higher caste or the lower caste. All are equal before the eyes of law. Okay, that is right to equality. Okay, the second one is right to freedom of speech. So you have the freedom to give out your views and tell whatever you feel like. Okay, only when it is good and it does not hurt others. Okay, so right to freedom of speech. Next one, right to follow any religion. So what is right to follow any religion? That is only secularism. So I told you, right, if you are a Christian by birth, you can freely follow any religion. That is, you want to convert into Hinduism, you want to convert into Islam, you are ready to do it and no one is going to question you. So that is right to follow any religion. The fourth one is right to justice. Okay, so if you are being blamed for something, so you have not done a mistake and you have been blamed for that, you have all rights to appear before the court and prove yourself, okay, so that you are innocent. So that is right to justice. You can seek for justice in the court without any discrimination. The fifth one is right to travel and live anywhere in the country. So you have the right to travel to any place and live anywhere in the country. No one can ask you, why are you coming from this state to another state and living here? So we have all rights to travel and live anywhere in the country. Okay, so if you are in Kerala and you want to move to Chennai and settle down in Chennai, you're having full rights to come from Kerala and settle in Chennai. Nobody is going to ask you why are you coming from Kerala and living in Chennai. So we have the right to travel anywhere in the country and settle down in any part of our country. So next one is right to choose your profession. Okay, so you have a right to choose whatever career you want. Okay, so you want to become a doctor, you are ready to do it. Okay, next one is right to free and compulsory education for all children up to the age of 14. So this is a very important fundamental right which has been later added. Okay, so once the constitution was formed, this particular right was not given there and it was later been added to the fundamental rights. Okay, so you have the right to have a compulsory education up to the age of 14. So if you are poor and you're not able to pay the fees, you have the right for free and compulsory education in government schools. Okay, so these are your rights. So there are 7 fundamental rights and you need to learn this properly, and it's a very important question that is going to be asked in your exam point of view. Okay children, so this is a small homework that I'm going to give you, and list down the fundamental rights in a sheet of paper, or if you have a chart you can also use a chart, and using your felt pens, that is your sketch pens, make it decorative and list down the fundamental rights in a sheet of paper. So these are the fundamental rights you need to list down in a sheet of paper or a chart paper. Okay children, so until then keep revising, do your homeworks properly and make the best use of the time given. Okay children, thank you.